Right.
So you can see him, Troy Thompson on the right, beautiful specimen. And on the left, we have Brandon Nelson. Everyone should know him, playing Esper Stoneblade. No Intel. I like the name.
No Intel. It's good.
No Intel's really good name. I don't know when that got invented, but that's awesome.
I think it's an SCG Live original.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So, no, because omniscience is the all-knowing.
Yeah,
and
you have all the knowledge.
You can't see it, but I'm elbowing Drew's side because it's a good elbow side
You can't
joke.
see it either, but I'm not amused. You can probably hear it.
But yeah, so both these players are playing for top 8 berth. I've looked at standings, and on the page it seems like
they're winning in.
Yes, almost everyone's going to be able to draw into top 8 in this tournament. Most opens you see, you have to battle it out, but they're going to be able to draw. It's just a couple people over the 9-round cusp. So a lot of them are just, this is their winning in. This is getting them into the top 8. And I think this would be Troy's first top 8. I don't know if we could look that up. Could we look if Troy Thompson's made it top 8 for SCG? But I don't
feel
think
like
he
has before. But
if he hasn't, I think he'll go to the Invitational. I could talk him into it. So I really hope. I mean, I'm not rooting against Brandon because I love both these guys a lot. Especially Brandon shares a lot of the same name as me.
Yeah, of course.
But
I mean, you actually can't spell Brandon Nelson without Brad Nelson.
You can't. Yeah, it's non-possible because it's NON are the only 3 and non.
Now we're just going deep.
Yeah, we're going way too deep. But all right, the players are taking their hands, and see if we're gonna keep. Yeah, I could totally talk Troy into going to the Invitational. He'll probably go anyway. All right, Troy's good.
It looks from their body language that they're both gonna keep their 7s.
All right, well, we're ready to battle. They're ready to battle. Let's get started.
Yeah, Brendan looks like he's on the play.
And someone's still deciding, or no, they were just getting the go-ahead from us.
Oh, no. Okay,
Let's
Troy's
start
on the
it
play.
off. Sackland Polluta Delta, dropping Troy to 19. He's going to go get, probably, he knows the matchup, I bet. So, no, he doesn't. So he is going to go get an island right away.
So here's the thing. There was an Esper, a personal tutor right away.
And that puts a sorcery or an instant on top of your library.
Just a sorcery.
Just a sorcery, and that puts on top of your library?
Instant or sorcery would be Mystical Tutor. That one got real banned.
It's only for sorcery, and it's sorcery, and you have to put it on top of your library?
Yeah.
That's weak.
What are you talking about?
You're down
tutored.
a card.
Yeah, so is Vampiric Tutor.
But that's instant anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we have a show and tell
What
on
about
top.
Imperial Seal, man?
But that's anything tutor.
But if you only ever want to tutor for one thing.
Anyway, so Troy puts a show and tell on top of his library. Brandon is now going to be forced to either always hold up his counter magic or try to find it. And it also protects, like, the funny thing is, like, Brandon might have a Thoughtseize, but it might not do anything.
Yeah. This is actually, like, arguably better than a one-mana demonic tutor in this spot. Okay. Because he probably has, like, an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize that he was looking to lead off with. So he's representing Spell Pierce here.
And we're just going
Troy's
for it.
Just gonna
Let's see if you got a counter spell.
Run it. Yeah, he has the Spell Pierce. Very aggressive move by Troy. I like it. You can't really give Brandon time to mess around.
Yep.
To Brandon's credit, that's only a 2 of Spell Pierce.
Yes, he only has 2 in his deck. And I did find out Troy has 2 top 16s, so.
Yeah. Certainly no slouch.
No.
So the activation on his turn, probably a Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, gonna drop him to 19. So now this deck is very all in, right? Like, he has to find now either a Burning Wish or another Show and Tell.
He could just drop Island Jace. The beautiful thing about this deck is that it has another angle.
Mm-hmm.
Your Show and Tell gets countered, but you can just Jace and reload.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, if you get a Jace, then Brandon's going to be forced to try to force some stuff. Plus, he has no pressure. Right. And the whole thing about a combo deck is Brandon has to kill him.
Yeah.
That's the whole,
big thing. It's not like you can just resolve 2 discard spells and 3 counter spells and you are granted the victory.
Yes. Oh.
2 Omniscience.
Would you please take one of these? It's not like it's that relevant. Now,
the Griselbrand.
He's going to take the Griselbrand, and Omniscience into Omniscience isn't the perfect
Yeah.
combination. But if he draws show and tell, he still just slams it, right?
Yeah.
Because he wants to get Omniscience into play.
What's he gonna do? Wait for a Force of Will to show up?
Well, but maybe Brandon would then be able to play like a Stoneforge Mystic or something for free. I mean, I guess it's very negligible since it's a cheap spell.
Yeah. Ponders for pressure. He has to shuffle this.
Yeah, just 2 lands and a swords. Like, not going to do anything.
Brandon's hand is Jace, Caracas, something.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I mean, it doesn't beat the Omniscience if we end up finding Emrakul.
Right.
But yeah, so Troy has the opportunity to just top deck a Jace and just go to town.
Show and tell?
No, top deck a Jace.
Yeah, or Jace. Show and tell or Jace are both real live draws right now.
Making 0 of your spells free at this moment isn't the most powerful of things.
Does Brandon have a way to blow up an Omniscience once it's in play?
Blow up an Omniscience? I don't think so. Not in the main, no. I mean, engineered explosives can't get to 10, right?
No, I don't think there are 10 colors in Magic.
There's not 10 colors? Can we get a check? Did Ravnica bring 5 new colors? Just 3? Okay, so we can only get it up to 8.
Okay, and that's not even until October.
Oh, yes. You're correct, because it doesn't come out for a couple months. All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
I mean, I'm not from the future. You, apparently. Actual time travel.
Yes. All right. So we are going to brainstorm, put 2 cards on top. Ooh, wow. So we hit a fetch on, we get to get rid of 2 cards, and we found a Burning Wish. So what Burning Wish can go do is Burning Wish can go get us another Show and Tell,
right?
Or a Show and Tell.
Yeah.
It's going to go get Show and Tell right now. Once we have Omniscience, we can go infinite with Grape Shot and Petals.
He could actually just use his Burning Wish for Petals as a draw 3.
Now, what is Petals? I don't actually... Can we get Petals of Insight on the board? No, people at home might need to see it too. So let's get Petals of Insight on the board, please.
I mean, he's getting Show and Tell anyway, but Petals of Insight is definitely a draw 3 if you want it to be.
Because there's a sweet sideboard combo with it. Petals of Insight.
As far as I could see, Brandon has another discard spell available.
So Petals of Insight is, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may put those bottom of your library in any order. If you do, return Petals. All right.
Otherwise, draw 3 cards.
Okay, so you can dig for a card, or you just cast it infinite times until you get Storm.
Right.
Until you find another Burning Wish, and then you Burning Wish for Grape Shot.
Correct.
That's awesome. I didn't even think about that. That's so cool.
Very, very good. Karsten Cotter actually wrote about it first. Very innovative European. So Troy's hand right now, post Show and Tell getting Inquisition, is Omniscience Emrakul.
Yeah.
So Brandon doing a very good job of disrupting him. Now he needs to find a way to close out this game before...
Jace is pretty good at that.
Before Troy finds one of his remaining 2 Show and Tells. Do you just start Fate Sealing here?
Yes.
Just 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 ultimate?
I don't know about that because we do have a Force Will, but I definitely just keep setting up a... Your opponent's deck right now has 3 Burning Wishes and 2 Show and Tells as its only gas.
Well, I mean, and Ponders and Brainstorms that you have to...
Put on the bottom, too.
Put on the bottom
but,
as well.
like...
So you're bottoming 13 cards and letting him keep everything else?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he has Preordains as well.
I mean, I still think it's fine to do this.
Sure.
Oh, he's just going to say go. Oh, he's gonna set up a V-Click lock.
Oh, Vendilion Click Caracas means that Brandon can flash it in on Troy's turn, attack, bounce it, and then flash it in again. It's not a hard lock, but it's definitely not good for Troy.
Yeah. Troy, I think, has access to countering this.
Right.
I think he has a Force, and I think he just drew a Show and Tell. I couldn't really tell. I think he actually drew a Show and Tell.
That's a pretty brutal Vendilion Click then.
Yeah. So you'd have to like force his Omniscience and then Show and Tell and Emrakul. Oh no, okay, he didn't. But he did hit a Show and Tell.
Daze, Omniscient, jeez. So Brandon just tapped out for Jace there, then he was dead.
Yeah.
Full on dead, Show and Tell, Omniscience, cast Emrakul, take another turn, wipe your board.
Yeah, that's absurd. All right, we're trying to find 10 mana.
Karakas, my Vendilion Click. I don't know if I like the end step Karakas there.
No, you want to put a little pressure on your opponent.
Like at some point you have to just get him dead, right?
Yeah. And you're not saving much you're saving 1 mana that you might not even need.
Right.
So he's just going to go for the Jace.
Yeah, like here he could... Oh, but it turns on his Force of Will.
Oh, yeah.
Because his hand is Force, Vendilion Click, Umezawa's Jet.
Oh, wow, we found Burning Wish.
But he doesn't have another Show and Tell in his sideboard. I don't think he Force of Will does.
What can he go get?
Petals of Insight?
That doesn't seem that strong.
I mean, he has 5 mana.
Just fighting a Jace? Ugh. Yeah, I guess you have to. No Intel definitely seems way...
Overmaster. Okay, so Overmaster is...
Gonna let him try to mise a 1-of, like, rip into a Show and Tell?
I guess.
And I guess he just needs to get lucky. But Brandon can Fate Seal and Vendilion Click control him.
Right. There we have Overmaster on the screen. This is a really good tool against blue decks because they have to counter the Overmaster or risk losing to a Show and Tell, whether or not you have it. So game state right now is there are 2 Show and Tells in Troy's bin, neither of which he got to cast.
Nope.
There's no more Show and Tell in Troy's sideboard. Brandon has a Jace in play with 7 counters and 5 lands that make all of his colors, one of which is a Karakas. He has a Vendilion Click in his hand. Is there any way for Troy to get out of this?
The big thing, I mean, he's going to get stopped. He's going to Vendilion Click. I don't think there's any way. Like, Brandon has to make a mistake, and Troy has to find a 1-outer. There's no other way. As long as Brandon keeps putting some pressure on Troy, then... Oh, and he's just going to take the Emrakul.
Do you like that decision?
Well, yeah, because even though he has a Overmaster, he might not have, like, the combo pieces. And just leave him with, like... Say you take the Overmaster, then you're going to have to get rid of the Vendilion Click with the Force Will if he draws a combo piece. Like, if he finds the Show and Tell, you're going to have to get rid of that Vendilion Click. But I just don't like him keep bouncing it. Why not get an attack in, bounce it, and then play it?
Right. He's basically just saving a mana, but letting his opponent gain 3 life.
He's not saving a mana, he's just using it at a different time.
Well, right, but he's saving his Karakas.
Yes, but he can attack and put it back into his... Yeah, I guess.
So he's just saving the Karakas being untapped on his turn.
Yeah.
And trading that 3 damage that he could have from
once he gets another
attacking.
blue card, I think it changes, but I think he just wants to save that blue card in case he has to force.
2 Dazes, 2 Omnisciences, an Ancient Tomb, and an Overmaster. You just take the Overmaster, right? Yeah. Yep. You just want to leave Troy with as many, as few cards that you don't know about as possible.
That's exactly it. We're at 7 mana. We're getting closer.
Listen, dude. we're not getting to 10.
Why not? I mean, we only have a Jace at 9, a Vendilion Click that can come back at any time.
To take either of those Omnisciences.
Yeah, it's all right. I have faith.
So you're telling me that somehow Brandon isn't going to notice that Troy can get to 10 mana a turn and a half before he
What
gets
I'm saying
10
is
mana.
I don't think Brandon realizes he's actually behind in this game.
I don't think Brandon realizes that either.
No, I don't think he does. All right, Brandon is...
Poor Brandon.
Oh, Brandon winces at the horrible card that's on top of Troy's deck, knowing how far behind. Another bin. It's like a ponder. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, you can't let them keep any of the cantrips because it's just better than drawing a card. 3 non-randoms way better than a random. He long ago gave up the beatdown plan. I don't think you even cast your Stoneforge Mystic.
You've already got Jace at...
I mean, the mana's just too important. You want to be able to...
You have 2 turns before this game is over. Just tick up, then tick down. Oh, we found another ponder. Wow. So 2 omniscience, 2 days.
Oh, jeez. We are actually kind of close to casting these omnisciences. He just needs to peel another 2 mana land.
Well, the omnisciences are going to be part of his library pretty quickly.
Not if he keeps peeling gas. Cut ponder,
Did he cut ponder, get ponder?
Yeah. The fact that he hasn't been pressuring Troy means that these ancient tombs are actually just free 2 mana lands.
Well, I do like it. He's not drawing an extra blue card, so he can't let that Vendilion Clique be in play and the Caracas be tapped.
Sure.
Because then, if he needs that force, like, he's got so much protection on so many angles, just let the Jace kill him. The Jace is at 11, it's going to take up 1 more time, and then it's going to go down and end the game.
Right. Brandon really playing this very conservatively.
So, Troy, by shuffling...
Puts the third show and tell back into his deck.
Yeah,
creates a second out.
No, there's only 2 left in his deck.
Right, yeah. Puts the third one.
Yes. Yeah.
The sideboard one that he wished for that was put on the bottom with the original Vendilion Clique trigger. So he has 2 in his graveyard, taken away by earlier Thoughtseize and Inquisition.
Yep.
He has 2 in his deck, one of which he wished for with Burning Wish. So he's actually on a hard 2-outer, having already spent his personal tutor on turn 1. He's burned through a number of ponders at this point.
Yep.
He's drawn pretty thin.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay, so another ponder. Resolves doesn't find anything of relevance, and he's just going to pass the turn back. Vendilion Clique back.
So here's the thing. I think Troy could have wished for Petals of Insight over Overmaster there because he doesn't need the Petals of Insight to actually kill Brandon. He has a time of need in his sideboard.
Oh, wow.
That he can use to get a Gristlebrand or an Emrakul.
And the insight maybe will give him a chance to actually find...
Right. You can just keep rebuying and paying 5.
Yeah.
And Brandon isn't attacking him.
But if you rebuy and then the Vendilion Clique, like you need to get to 8 mana so the Vendilion Clique can't take the card.
Or you just use it as a hard peel 3.
Yeah.
It's not a great rate, but it's certainly better than Overmaster.
So yeah, this is the last turn. If nothing happens this turn, and he sees he
keep
just...
it.
Yeah, it's all you, buddy.
Why would he take a Gristlebrand? He can't cast it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Troy draws, sees he can't take anything, and it's game over.
Brandon playing very tight, very conservatively.
Yeah. When you don't know a combo deck, sometimes you just play very tight. You just, even though, you know those situations where you know that the play you're making might not be the exact correct decision because sometimes it's better to be risky, but it just feels better. Like you feel like nothing bad's gonna happen because you do that.
Right. I mean, he has a Jason play on 13. I don't think he fears a Gristlebrand.
No. So in Troy's sideboard, Troy has 4 Pyroblasts. Excuse me. That are going to come in. He's going to keep an Overmaster in his sideboard to Burning Wish for. And yeah, he's going to bring in 4 Pyroblasts. And what do you cut in this matchup? Dazes probably, or I don't know if you can cut your counter spells.
I think you keep Daze to protect against early discard spells. Those are pretty good. So what do you...
I can't see a cut. I don't know how to sideboard this matchup. Like the first way I go is like
if you're getting
Petal,
hit with this card, then is Force of Will that great? Like if you're casting all your cantrips to find your combo, then don't you want your counter backup to be 1 card instead of 2?
I mean, that is true.
Like mana isn't at a huge premium here, right? Brandon isn't pressuring his mana with Wastelands,
yeah.
So he's going to be able to assemble, enough mana to cast his spells. He has 9 fetches, 6 blue sources, and 5 soul lands.
Yeah, and so he has to keep the Lotus Petals in. He can't cut that.
Correct. Yeah.
Maybe you cut Personal Tutor.
No, Personal Tutor's awesome
because it can go find a show and tell and put it on top of your library.
Right. I think you just cut Forces and bring in Pyroblasts. Slight upgrade.
That's true.
On Brandon's side, a much more diverse deck list. He has access to Surgicals, a 3rd Jace, 2 Spell Snares, an Inquisition, a Blue Elemental Blast, a Thoughtseize, a Disenchant. He has a lot of options. He can cut his 4 Swords to Plowshares, his Umezawa's Jit, his 2 Engineered Explosives, and probably his 2 Lingering Souls. I have no idea if the numbers line up there.
They don't. Like he can bring in Nihil Spellman as a cantrip.
Does he have more cards to cut than he wants to bring in? So 4 Swords, a Jit is 5, 2 Engineered Explosives is 7, Lingering Souls is 9. And he wants to bring in 3 Surgicals, Jace is 4, 2 Spell Snares is 6, Inquisition is 7, Thoughtseize is 8, Disenchant is 9.
Sweet. Makes sense to me.
And Troy has only the 2 Lotus Petals as green sources, so Disenchant is actually live hate here because...
What? Oh, for the time needs?
Let's say he show and tells an Omniscience, and he casts Burning Wish, right? In response, he disenchants it. Brandon disenchants Omniscience. Whatever he gets, whatever Troy gets, he isn't going to be able to cast for free, and if he gets Time of Need, then he can actually only cast that spell with his 2 Lotus Petals.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
It's not great,
I don't know if he'll go
bad.
for Time of Need at that point. He might just go for another show and tell.
Yeah, but then he needs his, another Omniscience.
Yeah, or another threat.
And that's where the Surgicals come in.
Yeah.
Once you've Surgicaled the Omnisciences, your Jaces and Karakas, your now 3 Jaces and your 1 Karakas are going to be able to lock the game up.
I agree with that. Because
there are no sneak attacks in this deck. The big legends are going to have to wait a turn to attack, and you can't hardcast them. So.
And a bunch of cards. I mean, a bunch of cards off of Griselbrand might be able to just find more show and tells and just Jace the Jace.
Yeah.
But it is an uphill battle for Troy. It definitely seems like on paper, Brandon has an advantage.
I agree.
What is Stoneblade bad against? Because I really want to play Stoneblade for the Invitational.
I mean, it's a world of 52% matchups, man.
That's better than the rug deck that's a world of 45%.
45% matchups, yeah.
Yeah.
Just feel like I'm behind against everyone.
Just a slight upgrade, yeah. All right, well, Troy's going to keep, Brandon's going to mulligan. As we saw in the top 8, Brandon would mulligan earlier today in the top 4. Brandon mulled to 5-1, his opponent mulled to 3, he won again.
He mulled to 3?
Yeah, Brandon's opponent mulled to 3, and then Brandon stomped him.
Oh, okay.
No, Brandon did not win to 3.
Yeah.
No, Brandon did mull to 5 on the draw against Delver and won, which was a pretty awesome game, actually. This weekend had some really good games, I'm not going to lie. I think some of my favorite games that I've commentated have been at this tournament.
Really?
Yeah. I really like the top 8 through and through.
For those of us who weren't here earlier, what happened on the Multi 5 game? Brandon was playing Nyapod.
He just had a Cavern for his turn 4 Huntmaster Souls. His opponent stumbled, didn't have a 4th land that came into play untapped to Restoration Angel as Geist, so then Brandon was able to crawl back into the game. And it was really interesting. And Brandon against Vampires, they had some good ones. Where usually they're really bad, and they weren't the greatest of games, but for the most part they were good. For what Vampires versus Naya should be. It's usually just a steamroll. And Brandon lost it, where Brandon was in a very good matchup in the finals.
Yeah.
So Brandon's on 6 now.
Keeps on the draw. Right, like here, don't you really want days?
Yes.
You just open days every Inquisition and Thoughtseize.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon not casting what looks like a Ponder in his hand. Holds up Spell Pierce instead. End step Brainstorms.
I never like end step Brainstorms.
I mean, mana is just at a premium in the early turns on the draw against a combo deck. I'm willing to be more aggressive with Brainstorms because you just need to be able to hold mana up when you have something like Spell Pierce in your deck.
Sure. All right, so we're going to see what he wants to do here, and he's just going to say go. I wish I could get a better look at Troy's hand. And no, leaning does not help me, Brad.
Every time, just lean over. No,
can't get a better angle.
Still can't see it.
All right, so he drew a City of Traders. We might be able to see if he has a show and tell with. I mean, he does have Days backup, but Days does not beat Spell Pierce.
Right, that's exactly why you end step Brainstorm. So, is slowing down the game good for Brandon or Troy?
I think it's very good for Brandon, right? The longer the combo deck has, the longer the Esper Stoneblade deck has, the better chance it can find counterspells and disruption.
Yeah. I mean, it plays one actual factual counterspell, plays some Spell Pierces, so there is a lifetime where Spell Pierce is a real card, and after that it just becomes playing cardboard.
I mean, I think I think actually like very late game the Omniscience deck has like the lead.
So yeah, he ponders into what looks like Inquisition, Flooded Strand, Surgical Extraction, which is real
Not
close
bad.
to my ideal ponder in this spot, because if you get to hit their show and tell, then that's pretty good. The problem is Troy is almost certainly sitting on a Brainstorm and is just waiting for Brandon to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can parry with Brainstorm and then, hit back with whatever he hides on the top of his deck. It's also possible that his hand is just utter garbage, but...
Well, he kept 7 for that? No. He's going to force an Inquisition. Wow.
So this tells us that his hand is actually pretty weak. Or that he just has everything and...
Well, if he has everything, he would have done it last
It's
turn.
either awful or great. I think it's awful.
I think so, too. I can never see
Because, like, if
forcing
you're
an
not...
Inquisition.
If you have Force Blue card and the combo, then you just want to get it done with as soon as possible. So you're just missing something and you don't have cantrips to find it. So you're just sitting there trying to peel cards off the top of your deck.
Yeah, this is real bad for Troy.
Yeah. So he probably has show and tell, nothing to put in with it, right?
Yep, that's what I think. Because if he had something big, then he would just let the Inquisition happen.
Correct. And if he had both halves, then he would have already cast it.
Yeah.
So he has exactly one show and tell, no Brainstorm to protect.
Oh, wow. Why wouldn't he play around Spell? Oh, wait, Krakus. That's why he's not playing around Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
What's he going to put into play?
Apparently he has something.
I hope it's not Emrakul.
Or Gristlebrand. Although Gristlebrand isn't...
That's fine, because then you just find another show and tell and you find another...
Or a Burning Wish, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about earlier with mana being very important in the first couple turns. Brandon, no blue mana. Show and tell probably going to resolve through the Spell Pierce in his hand.
There's an Omniscience.
Oh dear.
Oh no, but it's Vendilion Click that's going
Good Lord. Target you.
Takes the Gristlebrand.
Take your Gristlebrand. Wow, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah, that's very
Wait,
disheartening.
so does Brandon have another land to Vendilion Click lock Troy?
How does he Vendilion Click lock him?
He has Karakas again.
Oh yeah, but like we have this draw step, right?
Yeah.
Oh, do you draw show and
Show
tell?
and tell? Looks like.
Ugh. All right, we have Omniscience play. Everyone, Omniscience has hit the board. We can play all our spells for free.
But do we have any spells to play?
Yeah, that's the problem.
You may play non-land cards without paying their mana cost.
Maybe Brandon's like, maybe it's all players.
Brandon only has 1 blue mana, though. Ah, there we go. 2 blue mana. I spoke too soon. So he's going to get in, bounce with Caracas, activate his Flooded Strand, and click trade his draw step for the rest of the game, right?
It doesn't seem like that risky of a move.
I mean, he's going to lose to Daze whenever Troy draws it. But as long as he draws 5th land before Troy draws first Daze, this is a viable plan. And as far as beating a result show and tell goes, it's a pretty good line.
Yeah, I do like it. Oh wow, I can't believe Vendilion Click. Take your Gristlebrand.
His one of Vendilion Click.
That thing has been doing work.
Yeah. Card is real good.
All right, don't change your line. You have a brainstorm that would have loved that fetch line. Don't change your line, Brandon.
Yeah, no, you are locked in. Do you have a response?
Oh, he drew a Ponder.
Oh dear. You just have to take the Ponder.
Well, obviously, yeah. Yeah, you gotta take that Ponder because then the Ponder lets you see 3 cards, not just the free one.
Yeah. 4 if you don't like any of your first 3.
Yeah. Oh, we got a preordain. For free. What do we find? Do we find anything? Top? Oh, we're keeping a top. All right, this game must be over if we're keeping top.
What's the card? It's an Emrakul.
And that's game. We're going to game 3. Troy Thompson takes game 2 with Emrakul. I love that card. It's like, have you ever seen Progenitus? We got something bigger. Like, what was Wizards thinking when they built that card? Like, what do you...
I mean...
Like, they just...
How many people went nuts with
that guy cast Emrakul too.
Yeah.
You can tell by the excitement level.
This guy's just pumped.
No, like, this is... I'm going to pretend to make Emrakul. It's like, how much mana can we theoretically have a card cast and people could cast it?
15.
All right, 15. Now, I like symmetry. We're made symmetrical.
Yes.
So...
I mean, maybe 15, me, definitely not you.
Hey, now. 15. Now, what is it?
I see a theme here.
All right, so I think its keyword should have 15 words.
Should it?
Yeah, because it actually does have 15 words.
Are you serious?
Yeah, go check. No, everyone's OCD is just going to go Google Emrakul right now and check.
Including me. I'm not immune
It's
to that.
way more than that.
It's keyword? I don't know. What's the reminder text for Annihilator?
I don't know.
This is a successful troll.
This isn't a successful troll. I already told you I was trolling. You're the only person doing this.
I'm far from the only person. I guarantee you.
How many words does he have on him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, obviously the text box is way more than 15. I just want to see the reminder text for Annihilator.
I don't know how you do that, but anyway.
So, apparently your 15 theme died in the text box, but go on.
Yes, it died in the text box. Wait, its flavor text is 15 words. That's what it is.
No, it doesn't have flavor text.
Yeah, it does.
Are you kidding?
That whenever Emrakul is put into a graveyard from the game, I thought that was always flavor text.
would flip out at someone if they tried to write that as flavor text. This is the least inventive flavor text ever. It's just the rules on Darksteel Colossus.
What if somebody like flavorly wrote that? Like forgotten in the dream.
Attributed to Abraham Lincoln. Attributed to Michael Scott.
Ooh, okay. There's always money in the banana stand.
Abraham Lincoln.
No, his name was just Michael. And I went real deep on way different, too many angles. I don't even want to say them all.
Yeah. I think I understand where you're going, but we also have a match to get back to.
Yeah, we do have
at
a
some
match.
point.
So you said Michael, Honest Abe. I thought about the apple tree, Johnny Appleseed, and then I went to
no, the
apple tree was
I thought George Washington was one.
It was George
said I
Washington.
can't tell a
Yeah,
lie.
President George Washington, apple tree,
Johnny Appleseed.
Johnny Appleseed. But with the apple tree, you also said Michael, so I brought it back to the banana stand, which is in
George Michael, sure.
George Michael.
Okay. Okay, Glenn Beck. There's always money in the banana stand.
Yeah.
Brad, Glenn Beck, Nelson.
Just many different things made me think of Arrested Development.
I mean, how can you not?
And how like convoluted that show was, it made sense that I got there that way.
Right, of course. Maybe you think about your cousin.
Oh, hey, don't talk about her.
I will talk about
that way. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna check opening hands. Brandon's gonna check if he wants to keep his 7.
Got a little Rodin going on here.
All right.
Thinking.
Troy's looking. Troy wants it. He can taste this win. He definitely wants it. But I think Troy's gonna mulligan.
Yeah, he looks exasperated, like he's just waiting to chuck this one back.
Yep.
Has it changed? Do I have any more lands? No, still 0? Rats.
All right. All right, we can tell Brandon Nelson is still thinking. He does the little, like, the thumb thing when he thinks.
Where he rubs his cards with his thumbs?
Yep. But it doesn't look like that bad of a hand.
He has like 4 lands, Brainstorm, Stoneforge, something. Maybe Snapcaster. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to send it back. Wow.
He really wants a discard spell.
Yeah. So now Troy's thinking, he's
Troy's
keeping. All right. Now, I definitely love both these guys, but Brandon did take second, and I want Troy to make it to the Invitational. I really think he'll work. I want to work with him. He's like, I really like the guy, even though... So a little backstory on Troy. Troy is the kind of guy, and he's going to go watch this, and he's going to hate me for saying it.
I mean...
Troy's the kind of guy that will always act like he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't like the limelight. He doesn't like having a feature match or trying to win a Magic tournament. But deep down, I know he wants it. He wants it just as bad as anyone else. He won't admit it. He's too cool for it. He is a Magic hipster.
Really?
Yeah.
You went there?
I did. Is that a bad thing to say?
A Magic hipster.
Yeah, it's real cool, doesn't want it, but deep down he just wants to win this. He wants it bad. And I really want to see him go to the Invitational. But then if he goes...
I'm just rooting for Brandon because I lent him the deck. Also because he...
Hey, by the way,
when day's notice...
No, Drew, when we're in the booth, we cannot take sides.
I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying that I'm rooting for Brandon.
Okay. Well, I just want to see Troy succeed. Your boy's down to 6. Okay, anyway, we'll be respectful. I will be serious. Sorry,
Yeah,
Troy.
your boy's about to be down to 6
Turn
too.
1 Thoughtseize, Pluto Delta, Brainstorm.
Good Lord, that's a nice hand.
Omniscience. Wow, that
two
is really
Brainstorms,
good.
Omniscience, Show and Tell, three fetches.
So what do you take here?
Show.
Depending on the hand, we got
Wait,
to
hold on.
see.
If we have Surgical, then we just snap off Omniscience right now.
Yeah, and then we just win the game.
Yeah. Like it's a Thoughtseize, so they're...
Was that true? We might not be able to beat an Emrakul.
Valid.
Don't you just snap off the show and tells and end the game right now? Then he has to find a
Burning Wish.
He has to find one.
1 of 4. He also has 2 Brainstorms and 3 fetch lands to assemble.
I know, it's a really good hand.
Yeah, this
is a prime example, guys, back at home, that discard out of a deck that can't pressure you is not good.
Yeah. Are you serious?
No way, 45 words on the Oracle text? No way! If there's 45 words on the Oracle text, we're gonna look at that after this match.
15 mana, 15 power, 15 toughness, 45 words on the Oracle text. That's insane.
That's so crazy. Anyway, this is a great example of
checkmate,
why...
atheists.
This is a great way to explain how discard is not good in Legacy because everything is so redundant, and
he has
Brainstorms help do
He's
that.
just gonna find whatever you made him discard.
Exactly. So,
oh, cool. Made me ship my show and tell. I think I'll be able to find another.
All right, okay? I'm gonna do commentary. You count. You count real quick. This is blowing my mind right now.
Dude, I'm just gonna put this into Word.
All right, Troy's going to a second turn, playing another fetch line, passes back to Brandon. We're putting into Word. We're checking word count. All right, so Brandon's
46.
It's 40. Are you sure?
The 6 counts as a word, though.
Oh, Annihilator 6. 6 counts as a word. Does 6 count? Yeah, it does. It's 46. Wait, Annihilator, it's 6. I don't think the 6 counts.
45 words and a number?
45 words and a number. And the number is awesome. All right, Volcanic Island for Troy. Troy's going to Brainstorm end of turn. All right.
That's still real good.
It's so good, yeah. Finally, somebody at WotC is watching. This is like, finally, they saw it. Okay, Brainstorm. On the end of Brandon's third turn, Troy's going to go digging, trying to find another Show and Tell or Burning Wish.
Yeah.
They're like the same guy designed the Elder Scale Worm, whatever, the 7/7 for 7. And they're like, fine, if it needs to be obvious, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7.
Dude, why didn't... I'm so sad that Gristlebrand isn't a 7/7 for 7.
No, I like it being a 7/7 for 8.
Why?
I don't know, because it ticks all you guys off.
Listen, man.
All right.
I need it to work.
So he didn't shuffle his Brainstorm.
Well, now he is. Spoke too soon again.
Yep. All right, another Volcanic Island. Ooh, they're from different sets.
Yeah. Hey, Brad.
What?
What set wasn't Volcanic Island printed in?
Avacyn Restored.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of those, yeah. Which set that Volcanic Island should have been printed in was it not printed in?
It should have been printed in every set. So, Avacyn Restored.
The correct answer is Alpha.
So, every other one was printed in Alpha?
Yeah, they just missed that one.
Really? Alpha didn't have Volcanic Island?
Correct.
They had all other 9 duels?
Yep, just missed it.
That's awesome. Whoopsie.
There were a lot of other errors in Alpha.
Like Black Lotus, Mox Diamond, Mox Sapphire.
Listen, we're talking about
Time Walk.
Typographical errors here.
Okay, Preordain's coming down.
Yeah, Brandon needed some pressure.
He definitely needs some pressure. A Jace
really
would be good.
A Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah. Brandon knows that he's in trouble.
Yeah. Passing on 2 and 3 is not how you win against Show and Tell.
So,
Troy,
did you see how he scried there?
Okay, so Troy preordains, passes it back to Brandon. Doesn't have another land, so probably going to try and kill Brandon on his next turn, right?
That'd be so crazy if he gets there. All right, let's see what he's got. So, Snapcaster Mage going to try to Thoughtseize. We're probably going to want to Pyroblast that because we just, do not want to discard a card. What do we have over there? We
have a Surgical.
We have a Surgical for Show and Tell?
Yeah, I think so. Looks like.
So we're going to wait for Draw Step, Surgical?
That seems like the most correct thing.
Wouldn't it be better to
that's why he's
Surgical
tanking
before
right
we
now.
Thoughtseize? I don't know what's going on. Why won't you Surgical the Show and Tells right now?
I'm not sure either.
Because he thinks he's gonna get burning wished.
Maybe.
Well, now he's getting jaced.
Is he actually?
Yeah, he's getting jaced.
That's brutal.
Let's see how you like me looking at the top card of your library.
Up, surgical in response to fetch land. There we go.
That's 6 times 15. Did somebody say that too? The 6 is actually just 6 times 15.
6 times 15 is 90, not...
But it's, yeah, because it's 45 words plus 15 in the casting cost, the 15 fire on the 15 that. So the 6...
Listen, if we're going to be this loose with numbers, I can prove that 9/11 was not only done by Cambodia, it was done at the exact time.
All right, sorry guys. Drew Levin has to go home now. And poor... He's gonna miss his flight. Check, please. All right, Jace the Mind Sculptor comes down. Whew! This is getting real. When magic gets real.
This is about the furthest thing from real. The combo deck has Jason play. This is just not a real situation. Brainstorm.
I understand that you guys in politics like talking about racy things, but we have an audience that we have to uphold, you know.
People still listen to you?
They tell me people are here listening. I don't think there are.
Yeah, I think you're getting Truman Showed.
I'm getting Truman Showed? Ooh,
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Okay, so there comes a land. I have no idea what that
Dust
does.
Bowl.
Dust Bowl. And here's a Jace. Is he going to brainstorm?
Yeah. 2 Jace activations out of a combo deck against a control deck with no pressure is real ugly. Brandon has Force of Will, land.
Yeah. He's going to be able to counter the next spell Troy tries to play, though.
I have a feeling Troy probably has a Force of Will.
I have the feeling that Troy is feeling like he's going to make the top 8.
I am inclined to agree.
What card number is Emrakul?
1. No.
It's
4.
4? Really?
Yeah, it's a colorless.
Oh, wow. Sweet. All right, so Burning Wish here for Troy.
Don't you just have to Force Will that one? Force Will the Show and Tell, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's an Overmaster. We're going to have to Force Will that one.
Yep. All right, so that's a Jace, though, right? He just ripped Jace? Yep.
Yes.
He will be able to Legend the Jace, but it is too late.
Yeah, it's going to get Overmaster Show and Tell.
Wow, that's a crowd behind him.
His 3-card hand is not much to look at.
All right, Jace, they're going to Legend rule out unless Troy has a Pyroblast.
That would be brutal.
I haven't played with Jace in like 2 years. I'm going to play Jace at the Invitational.
Card's powerful.
Alright, Troy's going to take his turn. He's going to Overmaster. He's going to play Show and Tell. He's going to play Omniscience. He's going to play
Emrakul.
whatever he wants. There's a Show and Tell. Alright, Brandon has nothing put into play. There's Omniscience. There's Emrakul, and Brandon picks up his cards. Troy Thompson makes the win, gets the go into the top 8, qualifies for his first Invitational.
He's going to get to draw in, right?
Yes, he will. It's going to be like a hard lock. I think there's actually only 7 people. One might have to play down, but I don't think it's going to be Troy.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6 people are guaranteed top 8, and we're going to come back to the booth. So, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for listening. Figuring out that Emrakul
has 45 words in the number.
and a number. That's 6, which is 6 divided by 90 amount through numbers of 15, 15, 15, and 45 equals 15. What?
I really hope that Rise of the Eldrazi is like the 15th something set, right?
Yeah, we gotta go deeper. Everyone today, your job is to find more Emrakul deep. Dig the deep, find out what conspiracy this is. We gotta understand the mystery that is Emrakul.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it is absolutely phenomenal. I don't understand it, but Drew, you're pretty awesome.
I'd like to think I'm pretty awesome too.
Yeah, so on air, this is my hand for the Invitational. Are we going to do another 75-75? Oh, he's locked for training posts, guys.
Oh,
he's
God,
locked for training posts.
No. What did I do? I have news, everyone. I'm not going to the Invitational.
Yes, he is. You're locked.
I'm not going to the Invitational.
You are locked for training posts.
Not going to the Invitational.
But you just agreed. You're gonna say you'd rather not go and not play trading post than prove that you're going back on your word to 3. That you want to go into politics, my friend. That is all you have is your word. You instantly went back on your word in 1 minute, and you're in politics.
Isn't that? Don't people make jobs of that?
He's good for that. All right, so everyone, thank Drew for coming in. I had a blast with you for the last hour. Jake's going to be back with me next round for round 9, and we're going to send you over to the sideboard with Ruben. So stay tuned for round 9.
Hi, I'm Ruben Bressler, and I'm here in the sideboard of Star City Games Minneapolis with Minneapolis native Kyle Olson. Kyle, thank you for joining me.
Not a problem.
And you're currently X1, right? You just won your last round.
Yep.
And you're playing a very interesting junk list.
Correct.
So tell everybody what your deck basically is about.
Well, it's basically like a rock list. So back in the day, they had the Dark Horizons.
Sure.
And that's basically what I based it off of. And then Ian Ellis, a local native here, he did pretty well at the Madison tournament. He actually won the Madison tournament, so I kind of tailored a list based off of that.
Excellent. So what are some of the unique parts of your deck? I've been watching you all day. You've been hovering near the top tables all day. I don't think you've been on camera yet, have you?
Just for a secondary match.
You're on. I think you were on for like 5 minutes or something like that.
Right.
You might have caught him. So what are some of the unique aspects of your updated Horizons?
I mean, I guess it's just really powerful with Knight of the Reliquary, so that's been the all-star of today. It's very good against Rug Delver, because then I can get a Maze of Ith for any of their flying. I can block down any other dudes. And then Pernicious Deed has been very good against the aggro decks, and I have 2 of those main. Yeah,
that card's fantastic. I remember, the best tournament finish I've ever had was actually with a Pernicious Deed deck. That card's just unbelievably powerful. There's nothing else like it in the format at all, and it's really underplayed.
Very much so is.
I'm happy that it's seeing some play, some love finally with these weird Nick Fit decks.
Right.
So, what have your matchups been today? What have you beaten? What did you lose to?
The one deck that I lost to was the new Academy.
The Academy Rector Omni deck. No Intel thing?
Yep, exactly. So that's the one deck I lost to, and then the other decks have all been either aggro decks or Esper decks.
Sure.
So I've been just a control metal.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So it's basically Knight of the Reliquary, Pernicious Deed. One of them will take over the game.
Those usually take over the game. Then I have Bobs and Stoneforge Mystics to give me some more utility as well. So a lot of threats that are powerful at the 2-drop.
Excellent. So you may have noticed at home, he's a dapper gentleman. You're a member of the Minnesota Traveling Magicians?
Correct.
Is that what it is? Okay. Tell everybody, because you may have seen them at events. They wear pink polos on day 1 of all the events. I've seen them around all the time. This is my first time actually talking to one of them, because I just avoid people in polos most of the time. But talk to me about the genesis of that. Where did that idea even come from?
It just came from because you come to one of these tournaments and there's just a sea of people, and you basically want to see how your buddies are doing and track them down. So that's really where it came out, is, let's
just look for the pink shirts.
Exactly. Let's make it easy to scan a group, and then after you're done playing, of course, you can all just meet up. So it makes it really easy there.
And today, most of your team are suited up.
Correct.
We have a picture on the Facebook page of many of the suited up gentlemen. Very classy looking, much better than your normal Star City Games attire. And so you guys sort of deviated from the uniform, but you're still easily able to find each other.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit different, so we still stand out quite a bit. And couldn't go with pick polos 2 days in a row.
Excellent. So you're a Minneapolis native.
I am.
Talk to me a little bit about the Minneapolis, I'll say greater area magic scene.
Sure. I mean, there's a good group of guys that play at the Monster Den. So that's in Minneapolis, and they host tournaments every Thursday night. They do F&M, so get a good turnout. A lot of the guys here do that. We have some pretty good players.
Yep. There's Brandon Nelson, who we just saw on camera.
Yep.
Troy Thompson, who we just saw on camera.
Yep.
Not as well known as Brandon Nelson, who is a Nationals alternate. Matthias Hunt is near the area.
Correct.
Jerry Thompson is from here,
Yep,
but he's also from like 3 other cities. But he's from here.
Yep.
And so it's a pretty diverse group of players, like in terms of style, but also very solid.
Right, you get a lot of good play testing and practice, and it makes us do well at these events.
Excellent. So you're hoping to be able to draw in.
That's my hope. That's my hope.
Right. So you can look at the math. You were table 4 last round,
Yep.
and so you'll probably be at table 2, 3.
Right.
And so you might be able to draw in. But in any case, good luck today. I appreciate it. I think we're going to toss to a deck tech with another member of the Minnesota group, Tyler. I forget Tyler's last name,
Tizadal.
but Tizadal. There he is, right there. I'm sorry, I forgot your last name. Tyler Tizadal. We're going to toss to a deck tech of Tyler Tizadal's Food Chain deck. You're watching Star City Games Minneapolis.
SCG Live is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, producer of the world's most advanced Magic the Gathering app, SCG Mobile. The app is now free, and you can start accessing StarCityGames.com content from your iPhone instantly. Beyond the basic options, a simple in-app upgrade of $4.99 unlocks an ad-free experience and expanded functionality, including live pricing, player profiles, and premium content access with an existing account. For more information, visit www.starcitygames.com or search for SCG Mobile in the App Store.
Hello, I'm Ruben Bressler. Welcome back to the Sideboard here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm here with Tyler Tizadal. Yep. Good to have you here.
Thanks for
having me. You have an
me.
exciting, fun-looking deck here. We saw on camera earlier. I guess it would be Mist Hollow, Chain, Food,
Yep,
Griffin.
something in there. Yeah, Griffin, Chain, I don't know.
So explain the combo to the folks at home.
Yeah, so the combo works with the enchantment Food Chain and having Mist Hollow Griffin. You can cast Mist Hollow Griffin from exile, and then basically what you do is you remove a creature to get 4 mana to play Mist Hollow Griffin, and then you can play the Mist Hollow Griffin and then remove it, netting 1 mana each time. So you
can only cast creatures.
Yes, it can only cast creatures. So like a lot of the deck is creature based to take advantage of that. But that's the way of getting the unlimited mana. Then we have Fierce Empath that will fetch up any creature 6 or bigger. So I have 3 of those in here. I have Aether Snipe, Gristlebrand, and Emrakul. Emrakul's
for various purposes.
Yes.
The Emrakul is the actual win condition.
Yep.
Aether Snipe gets rid of troublesome permanents.
Yep.
For example, I would say Ensnaring Bridge.
Yes, Ensnaring Bridge, even Choke sometimes, like if I need to get around that. You see a lot of time with Maverick too, you have Pride Mage. You kind of really don't want a Pride Mage on board when you're trying to win with an enchantment.
And you also have Gristlebrand, which is fairly obvious, but it just gets you more.
It does, and there's a really neat trick you can do if you don't have infinite mana. And what you do is if you have a Food Chain on board and a Mana Dork, whatever, and then you play the Fierce Empath, you take the target for the Fierce Empath, grab the Aether Snipe, then you remove one of your Mana Dorks to evoke the Aether Snipe, target the Fierce Empath, remove the Aether Snipe for, what is that, 7 green, recast the Fierce Empath, grab a Gristlebrand, remove the Fierce Empath for black, play the Gristlebrand.
Get the Gristlebrand. Wow, that's pretty tricky.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of ways to just dig in to your combo. You've got Brainstorm, Ponder, you even have a Jace.
Yep.
But you've also got a backup plan. You've got sort of a beatdown plan that I saw you employ a couple times with your Vendilion clicks and your random 1/1s and 2/2s. Is that how you win a lot of the time?
You know, a lot of the time, like if the combo gets interrupted, you can still beat down. When I go into the sideboard, I usually bring in some Tarmogoyfs and a Scavenging Ooze just to kind of go on this really mediocre, like blue-green mid-range.
Sure. So speaking of the sideboard, you mentioned Tarmogoyf and Scavenging Ooze, which is sort of your beatdown plan in case that your opponents are running just way too much hate for you.
Yep. And most people do side out removal as well. Sure. So you kind of have, like, because Swords to Plowshares is not very good against Griffin. So.
So, yeah, I can see that. So you've also got some unique choices. A lot of the cards are self-explanatory, but you also have a Flusterstorm, which has sort of been coming back into Legacy. It disappeared for a little while. It's real popular in Vintage.
Yeah.
What matchups are those for? Is that
Flusterstorm? It acts as, a lot of the times in the matchups where you want more counter spells, it acts as like the Spell Pierce plus. Like sometimes, usually, like you have a counter war and it goes off, but it really comes into handy against storm or anything that like builds up that storm count. Because sometimes you have a really aggressive storm player, they go through, they don't really worry about you countering every single one of their storm, the tendrils, and you just boom, you hit it with a fluster storm. So that's kind of a nice way of divvying that up. So.
Now, another important card you have in your sideboard, it seems to me, is Pithing Needle.
Yes.
A lot of the things that you want to be that impact you.
Yep.
You can Pithing Needle.
Yes.
So give a couple examples.
So
of that.
Qasali Pride Mage would be the main one, because anybody who can like Zenith for Pride Mage, like at any time in the game, you don't want to run out that food chain, because sometimes you need 2 turns to go off.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can do it in 1 turn, but sometimes you need 2. So food chain's really good against blue-white. Putting that in against their top is really effective. And then you've got even just the more like any planeswalker too, especially if you're playing against like Nick Fit and they bring in Liliana, you throw that down because that you don't want to be discarding cards.
Sure.
So.
Now, one interesting thing to note about Food Chain is it is a mana ability.
Yes.
And earlier today, I saw someone try to disenchant your Food Chain in response,
Yep.
which you can't do.
Yeah.
And so not only is the combo effective, but it's also sneaky, and people don't really know how it works.
And
people have forgotten about the card Food Chain.
Yes.
So
and they've also Pithing Needled it too.
Which also doesn't
do anything.
Right.
I tell them after the match. I'm like, yeah, just so you know, because you can legally do that.
Yeah.
I was like, just so you know, that doesn't actually
do anything.
Stop it.
Exactly.
But I'll take the free Pithing Needle out there.
So what are the matchups like? Like you play against. So give me. I'll give you a rundown of the 3 decks that you expect to see most in Legacy.
Yes.
Maverick, Sneak and Show,
Yep.
and Rug Delver.
Yeah. So Maverick is actually a pretty favorable matchup. If you play against a really good Maverick player, like sometimes they know how to play around things and they just runner. Like you get choked out and you're like, well, I didn't see that one coming. But usually it's not a bad matchup. I bring in the Gilded Drakes against them because sometimes it's really nice to have another way of taking the Pride Mage or the Knight of the Reliquary. But Karakas, you actually don't care about Karakas at all because usually you're casting Emrakul off of unlimited mana. So you cast Emrakul, get your extra turn online, they'll Karakas it, you can just recast it. Or, yeah, like that's...
And then just attack for 3 with Griffins.
Yes, exactly. So like Maverick's pretty favorable. The removal's not very effective, but I did at Gen Con in the Legacy Champs, I played against a Maverick player who somewhat brought in gut shots, and he was kind of like hesitant about it, but he pinged off all my bodies, like played Noble Hierarch, killed it. Like he just kept me like a turn behind each turn. So sometimes that happens.
And what about Sneak and Show?
Sneak and Show? With the whole Omniscience thing, Omniscience like makes that deck like a lot better, I feel, because you can't do the conventional things. Like I had like you can mulligan or Fierce Empath for your Gristlebrand or Emrakul and be okay with a Show and Tell. But then they either have, sneak attack or the Omniscience. But I do bring in Gilded Drake just because that does help. That's kind of a 50-50.
Sure. And lastly, we saw on camera you played against Rug Delver.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that matchup.
The Rug Delver matchup's actually not too bad. Sometimes you do get the opponent with the turn 1 Delver that flips and then just kills
counters
you.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's what they do sometimes.
Yes, and that does happen. But usually, like, honestly, I play at the Monster Den in Minneapolis every Thursday, and I probably have like an 80% win, like just record there.
Nice.
And we have like Ryan Overturf.
Sure.
He plays there every week. But it's not too bad. Usually what you do in the sideboard is you side out the forces, you side out the cute stuff, the Aether Snipe and the Gristlebrand, and you go down on kind of other things, and you kind of become like that mid-range aggro deck, and you're kind of looking for the beatdown path that way.
Sure.
Just because you still have the combo in the deck, but you have like an alternate like route to take.
Right.
And I leave in the Jace because the Jace is really good against Rug. They probably will waste all their bolts on your Mana Dorks the whole game.
Now you've written about this deck before.
Yes.
Tell the folks at home where you can research that.
That's at quietspeculation.com. I forget what the article is titled. If you go on there and search,
if you look up his name, you can find it on that website. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
When this Griffin came out, people were excited about this deck, and people didn't really play it, but here it is if you want to try it for yourself.
Red Goblins deck that features cards like Krenko Mob Boss
Oh, that's sweet. So,
and Thalia, Guardian of Throbbing.
Thalia is the white card that you play. Is there any other sideboard specialties? Some decks have a couple cards that are white.
No.
Nope, just Thalia. So the reason that Goblins likes Thalia is it helps beat the the decks that run spells, like Miracles, some combo decks. It's just Goblins is maybe a turn slower than the other combo decks, but if you have a Thalia in play, you can actually just race them because they take that one extra turn to beat down. So Matt Hoyes is going to be on the play with an Underground Sea. And it's probably going to be a Thoughtseize. Yeah, Thoughtseize is going to drop him to 17. He's going to reveal a hand of, double Aether Vial, double Matron. That is not what you want to see when you're Thoughtseizing your opponent.
No. Those are the cards you want to take.
Yeah, you want to either be able to take the one Matron out of the hand or the one Aether Vial. But now that Kenny has access to both, that means that he's not only going to be able to start activating Aether Vial, but he's going to have the action to go with it.
Yeah, and I mean, Matron is just insane against a deck like this. It gets you exactly what you need when you need it. It's just more ringleaders. So he's going to go ahead and take one of those Matrons.
Yeah, not going to be able to beat the Aether Vials, but he does have access to 2 Engineered Explosives main, and he does have one in hand, so he can beat those Aether Vials with that card. So there's a Taiga and a turn 1 Aether Vial for Kenny.
Yeah, so that plateau going to allow him to cast Thalia or any of his goblins whenever he sees fit.
Gobble, gobble. There is both lands. Is this a Stoneforge Mystic? No, just the Jite. No Stoneforge to go with it.
Yeah, Umezawa's Jite is pretty good against goblins.
Yes, if he can start that to go. Next turn, he does have a Snapcaster Mage that he can Thoughtseize that Matron out of Kenny's hand, which is going to be a very powerful
He also
ability for
has
him.
Engineered Explosives. So
Yeah, he can just blow up both these Aether Vials and say, you know what, you have to cast all your spells. I'm not going to worry about that. But yeah, he is just going to get that Matron out so he doesn't get access to playing it this next turn.
Seems reasonable enough.
Yeah, this is also going to, that Engineer Explosive is also then going to be able to kill any 1-drops that Kenny has drawn and wants to put on the board. So Thoughtseize and 2 cards. Kenny, you're not putting the cards where we need you to.
Hey, you got to put those in the middle of the table.
It looks like,
Perhaps we can get somebody to tell him that.
just by the feint of the red, it looks like, is that a, oh, that is a Ringleader. So he's taking the Ringleader.
Magic players in the Legacy Open. We're getting to that time of the night. When you finish this round and you are undefeated, please come see us in the main stage. You can fill out your tax paperwork. If you already have it on file or you filled it out yesterday, you don't have to do the second time. Hooray!
All right, so Violon 2, Violon 1, 2 lands. Missed his 3rd land drop. Gant has to be happy about that. What land is? I can't see that now, basic. Oh, is that it's a Dust Bowl. Yes, he did have a Dust Bowl last time he played this deck in Kansas City.
That's true.
And there comes a Lackey. Lackey's going to trade with Snapcaster. Vile's going to get 2 counters. But this is going to stop Matt from having any pressure to go with that Jite.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a nice play from Kenny there. It's also, Matt's not going to be able to get much value out of these. The explosives obviously will still be good at
Yes.
1, but it would have been much better to have played with it.
All right, Matt definitely needs to find more ways to get that Jite online, or Kenny's going to be able to take this game away. So he gets to go for a Ringleader. Ringleader resolves, now plays a Matron. Ooh, we're going to just see a Pile Driver get in for a total of 8 damage.
Looks like it.
Just wants to get that damage in. Oh no, it's Tusk.
Tuck,
Or Tuck, yeah. So what this guy does is he gets to destroy an artifact and deals damage equal to the number of the goblins in play. Is that it? Or the number of artifacts?
Allies, right? Or
Oh, is it allies? Yes, it is. It is an ally. Yeah, that's what it is.
Or does it? It's whenever an ally enters the battlefield, you destroy an artifact and you deal damage to them equal to the artifact's converted casting cost, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because it would have. The reason people played it is because it killed a sword and then killed the Jace that was with the sword.
Yes, Matron for Scrapper. We can't remember what the effect for damage for the Scrapper is. So those
I think
vials
it's the
are going
converted
down.
casting cost of the artifact.
All right, Pluto Delta comes down, and Matt is stuck with just a Force and a Spell Pierce to go with it.
Attention players, if you registered for $10 draft number
Matt kind of
5,
on empty here,
everybody's ready
really
to begin.
hoping that
Please report to the side events banner.
Tuck Scrapper.
Draft number 5, please report to the side events banner.
All right, there it
Trust
is. Equal to the number of allies you control.
Okay.
Yeah, so it only deal 1. So Matron comes in. Here's a Pile Driver. And Matt definitely he needs to find something. The only threats that are in his deck are 4 more Stoneforge Mystics, 3 Snapcasters, 2 Vendilion Clicks. Those are the only spells that can be equipped to that GT.
Batterskull.
Sure, and a Batterskull. Force Will's going to... Yeah.
Down to no cards in hand now.
Yeah, he is off the top of his deck, and he knows his opponent has a Tuk-Tuk, so even the Batterskull's a little awkward off the top. What do we draw? What do we have? 4 mana, that's a Jace. Let's... Oh, nope, Dust Bowl. He's just going to keep him off mana. Alright, well, we have a Vial. We're going to hit in for 1. Matt's going to go to 9. Oh, and we have a Stoneforge.
Stoneforge Mystic, pretty good here. And
Stoneforge comes down. He's going to go find that Batterskull. And now Matt is in the driver's seat. He just needs to find one of those Stoneforge Mystics.
And this is huge for Matt. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
He's going to start getting GT counters.
All right, plays that extra planes that he has. That's going to be able to use for a Dust Bowl. So he's just going to equip and then pass the turn. Vial goes up to 1. What do we find? We find a 3rd land. We can Matron if we want to. Now, if you were in Kenny's spot, what do you Matron for?